Hey, good morning, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, October the 19th. This is a video version of the 409th Kitchissippi Weekly Ward newsletter. You can subscribe to the weekly newsletter at kitchissippiward.ca. It has lots more information, links about the topics and items that we'll discuss this morning. Diving right in, last night I received note that the Ontario Land Tribunal has decided in favor of Minto with respect to the 16-story proposed tower here at the corner of Parkdale and Wellington. There's not a lot of information in the decision. It really is just an examination of the city side and Minto's side with a very short conclusion to say that Minto is allowed to build the building. I've put that decision online temporarily on my own Dropbox. I assume that'll show up on the tribunal site soon. I'll be in touch with Minto, I'm sure, over the course of the next couple of weeks to find out what their next steps are. But that building, that 16-story tower, has been approved now by the Ontario Land Tribunal. I have pop-up office hours that are coming up on October the 21st. That's on Monday from 11:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the bridgehead that is at the corner of Caroline and Wellington. Drop by anytime during those hours to, without appointment, to chat with me one-on-one about all things Kitchissippi. Another reminder about my ward forum that's coming up on November 7th. Please drop us a line to let us know that you're attending. Sonia Bebbington, who is the CEO of the Ottawa Public Library, is going to provide our keynote presentation. We've asked her to take a look at the upcoming Adisoke Library that's on Albert Street there. I think that's going to be fascinating. And of course, there will be lots of time for Q&A with me. There are community groups. There's tables that are being set up by various different stakeholder groups. So please come on by the Ward Forum on November the 7th. Hey, I'm pumped to try something a little bit different. I have planned on October the 28th a storefront zoning session. So I've gotten a bunch of private sector consultants and planners to agree to sit at tables and talk with you one-on-one about what the new zoning bylaw would mean for your property in particular, for the properties around you, maybe down the street. The zoning bylaw is very technical. It really is practitioners who are best able to really unpack what it actually means. And I want to provide that opportunity for residents who may not have a lot of planning expertise to understand exactly what that new zoning bylaw would mean for them. So on October the 28th, I've got a storefront session coming up. Talk one-on-one with a planning practitioner. Register through the link in the newsletter. Committee of Adjustment is coming up on November the 1st. There are 4 properties in Kitchissippi that are on the agenda. At 451 Roosevelt, the owner is seeking to subdivide the property into 2 separate parcels in order to build convert an existing dwelling into a semi-detached with additional dwelling units. At 551 Edison, the owner is seeking to subdivide the property into 2 separate parcels of land for the construction of a new detached dwelling. The existing detached dwelling would be retained. At 433 Everett, the owners are seeking to permit a detached dwelling with a front yard parking space and a portion of the covered porch projecting into the corner site triangle, so they're looking for some variances for that. And at 455 Dawson, the hearing is going to resume as the owner seeks to permit a reduced lot area for the construction of a 2-story semi-detached dwelling containing 6 units. We need some help on Remembrance Day. Every year there is the parade that goes from the Legion to the Cenotaph along Richmond Road. Just like last year, we'll be shutting the road down for that parade. And just like last year, we need help to serve as marshals at the closed intersections. I'm contracting with police to properly close that stretch of road this year, but we still need those volunteers to help us supervise the intersections. If you're a mature individual willing to give us a little bit of help from 1 until 2:30 p.m., please drop me a line. I've got more information in the newsletter. Some community things that are coming up. There is a Hintonburg History Evening that's coming up on November the 18th. The Hintonburg Community Association is hosting an event to be called Hintonburg History's Evening at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, November the 18th at the Hintonburg Community Center. The event's going to feature a presentation on the early days in Hintonburg, the development of a streetcar suburb to a character-rich neighborhood. That's going to be with Dave Alston, who who I know many of you know. There will also be a display of archaeological fragments from a typical Hindenburg house, 1880 to 1959, by Judith Parker, who is a local art historian. So that looks like an absolutely fascinating evening. I'm sure I'll drop by. That is coming up on November the 18th, 7:30 p.m. at the Hindenburg Community Center. The 10th annual Byron Pumpkin Parade is coming up. That's where on November the 1st, drop your used carved jack-o'-lanterns off on Byron, just to the east of Island Park Drive. Volunteers are going to set those up with candles, light them up in a beautiful pumpkin parade that will stay lit from about 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. Happy to provide a little bit of help this year to make sure that comes off without a hitch. Also being supported by the Wellington Village Community Association. So drop your carved jack-o'-lanterns off during the day on November 1st. Come back in the evening to see them all lit up. That keeps getting bigger every year. The Kitchissippi Winter Trail is hosting a fundraiser on October the 22nd from 5 until 8 p.m. That's going to be at the Mill Street Brew Pub. There are draw prizes, a raffle, lots of fun. So the Winter Trail always needs your help in order to ensure that it keeps running. We as a city, the NCC, don't give it enough money in order to be operational. They require crowd help, resident help. So please show up at the Mill Street Brew Pub on the evening of October the 22nd and take part in some of that fundraising. Really interesting initiative that I've recently been told about is Track One Music. It is a free inclusive drop-in program for teens, so grades 8 to 12, to explore music in a fun collaborative environment. It's going to be held every Sunday from 6:30 until 8 p.m. in the Blues Fest School of Music in the Westboro. The participants will learn, arrange, and record a cover song together each week. There is no previous experience necessary, just a passion for music. The space is limited, so they're asking folks to register each Wednesday. You can follow the program on Instagram. I've got the link in the newsletter for weekly song updates, or visit their website to register at trackonemusic.com. I've got more information in the newsletter, of course. The Fisher Park Community Recreation Council needs your help to expand their board. They're the folks who run a lot of the recreational programming that is at Fisher Park. They have a board that ensures that all of that comes together. They need your help to make sure the programs are kept alive. They meet roughly once a month, not in the summer. There's information about how to sign up for the board there. If they don't have the board participation, then it is really tough for that activity to continue. Board service is a great way to do neighborhood service, community service. I would encourage you, please take a look at the link that's in the newsletter and join that board to ensure that that programming remains awesome at Fisher Park. Another reminder that Wickedly Westboro is on. There is a scavenger hunt from October 12th until 31st. You can explore Westboro's Richmond Road to win some valuable ghoulish goodie bags. And of course, there is Westboro Trick or Treating again this year. That's going to be from 1 until 4 p.m. On Saturday, October the 26th. Either take a look at my newsletter for more information or visit the Westboro Village BIA for more info. There is a concert coming up, Housing with Heart. It is in support of multi-faith housing initiatives, Dream LeBreton Capital program, which will provide 30 affordable houses for and supports for Indigenous families. That concert is going to be held at 347 Richmond Road until 6:30 p.m. There's tickets through the link that's available in my newsletter. All Saints is hosting its bazaar. That's the All Saints Church in Westboro. That's going to be on Saturday, November the 2nd from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. And Parkdale United is also hosting its its Christmas bazaar on November the 2nd from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. More details in the newsletter. There are a bunch of meetings that are coming up at City Hall over the next several days. The first one to meet next is the Community Services Committee. It's going to be meeting on October the 22nd. It's going to be considering the establishment of an anti-poverty strategy, so a lot of work has been done on that over a couple of years ago, and it will also receive a report on the Canada-Ontario housing benefit. The Planning and Housing Committee is next to meet on October the 23rd. We're going to receive a report on an Indigenous housing strategy from the Ottawa Aboriginal Coalition, co-funded by the City of Ottawa. We're going to be considering some rezonings on Innis, Trim. The big rezoning on Heron Road at the Federal Study Center is on the agenda that day. And we're also going to be updating development charges associated with the Infrastructure Master Plan. We passed the new Infrastructure Master Plan in June. Now we'll have the new updated rates that reflect those projects to be approved at our Planning and Housing Committee meeting on October the 23rd. And the Transportation Committee is going to meet on October the 24th. Relatively brief agenda. I think there might be some discussion around sort of omnibus item on road cuts. There is a bylaw changes that are coming with respect to road cuts, municipal access agreements with the telcos, the rates that are being charged for road cuts. So it's not the sexiest of items, but certainly of considerable interest to me. I did a bunch of work around road cuts a few years ago to get that new bylaw underway. It looks like there are some updates coming up at their meeting that will be on October the 24th. Kitchissippi, that's what's in the newsletter this week. I hope you have a great week, and thank you for watching.